Good evening to the guests of the Tsr Honorary Award Ceremony for 2021. My name is Kristin Arends and I am currently the Chairperson of the Tigerberg Student Representative Council for the term 2020-2021, and I will be your MC for tonight. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you, and I would like to thank you for being with us at this prestigious ceremony where we give recognition to the students at the Tygerberg campus of Stellenbosch University in the categories of academics, leadership, service, culture, and sport. To welcome you formally to this wonderful virtual event, I now invite Prof. Deresh Ramjugernath, who is the Vice Rector of Learning and Teaching.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be with you virtually to celebrate the remarkable achievements of our students at our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences tonight. I would have loved for us to be physically together to celebrate such an event, but we will have to be a bit more patient as we continue to live with the pandemic. The Tigerberg Student Representative Council Honours Ceremony is a very special occasion where we recognize the hard work and sacrifices of our students within the walls of faculty academic theatres, within the wards of our Tygerberg Academic Hospital, and communities where our medical students serve our people. We also recognize the efforts that our students engage in with co-curriculum activities and programs which take place outside the classroom. We also gathered here to learn some lessons from our students in that even during these trying times, where there is uncertainty or even doubt about the future, once we fully commit to achieve something, indeed, anything is possible. The recipients of the awards, ranging from academic, leadership, culture, and sport, are a good example of what it means when Stellenbosch University speaks about academic success and a transformative student experience. However, this important work would not have been possible if we did not work together as a collective. The Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Professor Volmonk, the Dean's management team, academics, faculty members and administrators all contribute to our students' success in their unique ways. Their hard work, dedication and long hours is recognized. Also, the immense positive contribution that our student leadership on campus ensures that such events like today are possible because we are all working towards a common goal for public good. I welcome you all tonight, especially the recipients of the awards. A special mention to Dr. Jenny Edge, who is the new Honorary President of the TSR. Dr. Edge is taking over from Professor Julia Blitz, who will be retiring next year. We are indebted to both colleagues for your generosity and support to our student leaders. The TSR Chairperson, Ms. Kristin Arends, will share more of our appreciation to you both. Also, an event of this magnitude would not be possible without a guest speaker. We are excited to have Professor Susan van Schalkwyk as our guest speaker tonight. We look forward to listening to Professor van Schalkwyk's perspectives and insights. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, I now officially welcome you and open the 2021 TSR Honours Virtual Ceremony. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Prof. Deresh. I now have the honour of introducing the TSR Honorary President to our guests tonight. This year, the TSR had to choose a new Honorary President after our former President, Prof. Blitz, had completed her term. The TSR came up with a short list of people who inspire us as students at Tygerberg, and the TSR voted that we approach Dr. Jenny Edge. To us, we saw Dr. Edge as someone suitable to be our Honorary President because of her strong leadership abilities, her compassion, and because we observed how she truly has the interests of students at heart, both academically and in other issues affecting the student body. Dr. Edge started her career in England. After working as a junior doctor in London for 1.5 years, she moved to New Zealand where she worked for 5 years. She came to South Africa with her husband in 1994 and trained as a general surgeon at Tygerberg Hospital. She left full-time state employment to work in private when her children were young, returning to Stellenbosch University in 2018. She now works as a general surgeon in the Division of General Surgery at Tygerberg Hospital. Her primary interest is breast surgery. 12 years ago, she founded the not-for-profit organization, the Breast Course for Nurses. This organization trains nurses in primary clinics how to evaluate a person with a breast problem. The work has continued throughout the last decade, and the course has been taught in countries as far as East Timor and South America. At Tygerberg Hospital, her primary role is that of a surgeon in the breast and endocrine unit. She's involved in many research projects, both with undergraduates and postgraduates. Most of her projects are about barriers to access to treatment for women with breast cancer. Last year, the anti-GBV task team was founded at Stellenbosch University, and Dr. Jenny Edge is one of the founding members of the task team. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Edge to take the virtual stage to offer a message of support and congratulations to the students who will be receiving awards tonight.
Ladies, gentlemen, students, and fellow academics, it gives me great pleasure to speak at today's prize giving. I think we'd all agree that this year has been incredibly difficult. Many of you have had the numbers in the news becoming names in your lives as a COVID wave has swept the country twice since January. The universities and hospitals are not the places that we once knew. There are barriers between us and our patients. There are barriers between us and our colleagues. It makes today especially important. In times of adversity, we must always remember to celebrate what we have achieved without forgetting the things that we have lost. 6 months ago, I was asked to become the Honorary President of Tygerberg Student Representative Council. It is the greatest singular distinction that has been bestowed upon me since I returned to academic medicine at the beginning of 2018. My predecessor, Professor Julia Blitz, was well known to many of you. Her knowledge and her approach to the complexities of university life have been hugely helpful in my reintegration into academia. I know that many of you too have also benefited from her leadership and her guidance. She became your president shortly after the Fees Must Fall campaign. I live within the campus of UCT. I heard what went on. We heard the police raids in the residences. Every day when I drove to work, I went past Nyala's, parked, ready for action. And UCT was not the only university affected. It was the one that I was aware of. So why didn't the violence spread to the Stellenbosch Medical Campus? There are obviously many possible answers to that question, but I'm sure that the root of what happened here was based on frank dialogue, mutual respect between faculty and students. I don't know who the students were at that time, but they deserve to be recognised and honoured. I do know that Professor Blitz was one of the main voices representing the university on the medical campus. The period of unrest left many scars, but the fact that the period passed without significant violence and indeed loss of life, as was seen in other campuses, was in part due to Julia's calm leadership. Respect governs her day-to-day activities and interpersonal interactions. Many of you are reaching the end of your formal training. You will have been taught. You will have been assessed by exit exams. You will have successfully qualified as an accredited healthcare worker. But how do you make that transition from being a healthcare worker, and on to an excellent healthcare worker with a sustainable career? Although you won't be sitting online or in the classroom or in the seminar room for much of that time, your development is only just beginning. There are many different ways and modalities of achieving excellence. Atul Gawande, a surgeon from America, has famously said, "Tennis stars at the top of their careers require coaches. Why don't surgeons?" It's a question I have often had to ask myself, and there's no doubt that we all need either coaches, co-coaches, or mentors in some form. That may be as part of a group. It may be informal or formal. It may be with someone within our area of expertise or someone from outside. Being a healthcare worker is not easy. Academic knowledge is only about a third of what you need to sustain yourself on a day-to-day basis. It's only about a fifth of what you need to flourish. I had no idea at the time, but my first mentor was a radiologist, Dr. Ira, a Sri Lankan woman, when I was working in New Zealand. As the only female in the surgical department, I spent much of my time furious with my sexist, patronising male colleagues. One afternoon, I was particularly frustrated and ran down to her office, bursting with indignation and near to tears. I started off a rant about my colleagues. She stopped me and said, "Jenny, there are 3 phases to coping with these situations. The first is the knee-jerk reaction when you say what you're thinking. That's what you've done. You're too old for that now, and you need to enter the phase of silence. It's very powerful. You never regret what you didn't say." She added that the third phase is the reply, and that I wouldn't get there until I was grey. I occasionally can think of the reply now, and it is indeed very sweet. But silence can be very useful. It stops the onslaught from the other side. It could be racism or sexism or bullying that you're receiving. So who is it that you might be getting this from? We did a survey amongst our registrars in our department, and the results were very similar to those found in a large survey carried out in America. The commonest source of abuse is from families and patients. Why is that? They too are frustrated and challenged by the systems we work in. Often they're scared and dealing with the unknown, and COVID has only made that worse. At present, there are many families that have food insecurity. We have patients in our clinic who have to decide if they will come to the hospital for their appointment or feed their family. It's made worse by the fact they have to come alone. Relatives aren't allowed. Consequently, the family often doesn't fully understand what's going on with their loved one. Being sick is lonely. Being sick without those you love and those who care about you around you is a very isolating experience. It's isolating for both the family at home and for the patient in hospital. It's easy to understand why emotions can boil over into anger. Over the last few days, I've had the pleasure of going through the nominations for the awards with the appointment committee. The fields that I've been involved with are leadership, service, sport, and culture. It's the first year I've had the privilege to be involved with the process. I cannot believe just how outstanding all the applications were. It gives me great confidence in the future of this country. My amazement is not confined to the students who are nominated for awards. I've been really impressed with the students involved with the TSR. And while I know that many students are involved, and I don't wish to thank you individually because I would undoubtedly leave out some people, I would particularly like to thank the chair, Kristin Arends. I also know that many of you have been involved with the COVID crisis, giving up your free time to be at the front line, vaccinating, supporting and swabbing. And on behalf of the many patients who've benefited, thank you. As a healthcare worker, you need to remain empathetic and yet strong. It's not easy. You will need the support of your friends, families, and colleagues. You need to learn coping techniques to survive, and we all need mentors to help us find the best strategies. So to put it more succinctly, and using Prof Blitz's favourite saying, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thank you.
Thank you for that message, Dr. Edge. Dr. Ed will now also present our academic awards and the awards to the top academic achievers of 2020.
Department of Nursing and Midwifery, Lauren Kate Gathercole, Lisa James. Department of Occupational Therapy, Ashley Kate Noyce, Marjorie van Wyk, Valerie Koorts. Department of Speech Language and Hearing Therapy, Carla Bauer, Henry Hutting, Blessing Tokoza de Luvu. Department of Dietetics, Annery Roma, Kerry Lamboy, Brittany Catherine Smith. Department of Physiotherapy, Caitlin Hunter van der Berg, Tasha Ainsworth, Rochelle van Dijk. MBCHB, Mila Guarini, Tanita Ann Dazel, Mawela Fenta, Danka Shade Breard, Alison Jane Arends. Nominations for the TSR Honorary Colours for 2021: Sergio Miguel Alves, Alison Jane Arenser, Dylan Barnard, Ruan Borta, Danka Shade Breard, Jonathan Hilario Cardozo, Craig Corbett, Mitchell Stewart Pryor. Renska Delabat, Edward Charles de Villiers, Laura Duplessis, Joanna Magdalena Extian, Nina Christine Erasmus, Miriam Maria Philippi, Kyle Huysen, Reinhard Hayes, Helen Ria Hunk, Michelle Lee Horrock, Jacques Fanas Jordan, Daniel Johannes Jobert, Carla Krug, Annelie Lombard, Melissa Milan, Bianca Manley, Daniela Myberg, Yanka Nell, Danielle Nix, Shelley Ann Parker Nance, Robin Lee Peat, Sumare Prinsloo, Michael Conrad Schmidt, Lune Smith, Ondumisu Olawatoyesi Olawapemilumi Solanki, Mariki Swanepoel, Megan Elizabeth Tarantal, Benjamin Neil van der Merwe, Ilana Fannykerk, Estee van Tonder, Anna-Marie Wurst. Occupational Therapy, Carla De Silva, Jessica Leslie Daniel, Ella Prudenton, Akovi Anna Folly, Henry Janse van Rensburg, Anna Kuckelberg, Villery Kurtz, Michaela Naidu, Ashley Page Richardson, Alicia Smith, Georgina Maria Tassiolas, Carla Narita van Eerden, Vernice Venter, Lizzie Wasserfall, Landy Wenzel. Department of Dietetics, Kirsten Emma Drake, Lizelle Nevote, Brittany Catherine Smith. Department of Physiotherapy, Yana Acker, Ilana Brenda Bester, Abigail Francis Davis, Rochelle van Dijk. Department of Speech, Language and Hearing Therapy, Melissa Brecht, Isabel Ruth Davids, Rebecca Ann Moffat, Blessing Tokozo Ngluvu. I'd just like to say well done to all of you for all of your awards, because each of them represent an enormous amount of work.
Thank you once again, Dr. Edge, for presenting those awards, and congratulations to the students who have received the academic awards tonight. We recognize your hard work. Given the academic challenges brought on by online learning and teaching and the COVID-19 pandemic, your achievements are not to be taken lightly, and you can really be proud of yourself. We will now hear from our guest speaker for the evening. Tonight, our guest speaker is Prof. Susan van Schalkwyk, who is the Vice Dean of Learning and Teaching at the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Prof. Susan van Schalkwyk, MPhil PhD, is a professor in the Health Professions Education and Director at the Centre for Health Professions Education in the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at Stellenbosch University. Apart from her supervision of doctoral and master students, she has more than 15 years' experience in academic staff development. Research interests cover a wide range of topics related to learning and teaching in the health professions, with a specific focus on strengthening postgraduate studies and academic writing. Much of her work is formed by the principles of transformative learning theory, with current projects intentionally looking to adopt a social justice agenda. Prof. van Schalkwyk is an NRF-rated researcher, an SU teaching fellow, and a fellow of the International Association of Medical Educationalists, abbreviated to AMEE. She serves on the AMEE Faculty Development Committee and is the past chair of the AMEE Doctoral Report Award Committee. Currently an associate professor for the AJHPE and advances in health sciences education, she has authored or co-authored more than 80 peer-reviewed articles and book chapters. Prof. van Schalkwyk works very closely with some of the members of the TSR, and we are very appreciative of all that she does to assist us with the student issues that we bring to her table. We are now delighted to have you speak to the guests of our virtual Honours Award ceremony tonight.
Good evening, Molweni, goeienaand. They say life is about choices. In fact, that is something that I've said myself many times, mostly to my children, and sometimes to my students, and even my colleagues, the colleagues with whom I work in the Centre for Health Professions Education here in the faculty. There are different types of choices though. There are little c choices, choices that, while they have to be made, will seldom impact on your life or the life of others in any real or meaningful way. Little c choices are peppered across our days. It's the, shall I have a chai latte or a red cappuccino from Cups and Saucers this morning? Or should I wear the bright red jersey or the grey hoodie today? Multiple mini choices all of the time. But of course, there are also big C choices, those that affect our lives and sometimes, indeed very often, the lives of others. This is like the choices that you made when you decided to become a healthcare professional, when you chose this institution and this faculty to be your academic home. Increasingly, as you have become more involved in a clinical context, and indeed when you move to graduation and ComServe and internship, the choices that you make in terms of patient care, for example, will have implications for those you seek to serve. By now you might be wondering whether the word choice is even the right word here. Am I not talking about making decisions? And yes, of course, that is probably the case. But our decisions typically require of us to make a choice between different options and a range of alternatives. And this means that when we are making these choices, particularly the big C ones, the more we know about the lay of the land, the context, the variables, the implications, the more likely we are to make an informed choice. But why talk about choice on an evening like this, on an awards evening, an honours evening, an evening when we celebrate the successes of one another? Well, there are a couple of reasons. Firstly, because our theme for this evening has been taken from a quote from Desmond Tutu. I am because we are. What you do affects the whole world. Now, this doing of yours, what you do, is informed by the choices that you make. So some reflection on what is informing your decisions, your choices, what principles and values underpin your thinking and indeed your worldview, and some reflection on what motivates you to act becomes important. Secondly, because during an occasion like this, where we acknowledge achievements across a number of different spheres of interest, we are essentially recognizing the outcomes of a series of choices that have been made across the course of someone's life. It is important for each of you, as you take your award this evening, to think about and recognize key moments in your life that have taken you forward, or instances of detours where possibly a choice first took you on a different road, and of course that's also okay. But thirdly, making choices sets the bar. It determines the extent to which we will take a risk, the extent to which we will put ourselves out there, take on new challenges, test our endurance and commitment. I like to use the analogy of puzzle building. And indeed I have done so many times before. Puzzle building starts with selecting the puzzle. There are numerous factors that can be taken into account when you make that selection or that choice. How big will the final puzzle be? Will you have the space that you need to build it? How much time do you have available? Can the puzzle lie beneath the kitchen tablecloth for weeks so that you can build a little every evening? Will someone help you? How many pieces? What level of difficulty? And so on and so forth. Each of these many choices are influenced by a whole range of factors: external, internal, environmental, and personal, to name a few. The more difficult the puzzle, the longer it may take, but possibly for greater reward. The choices that you make set the bar. It is, however, also true that having choice is a privilege, that we don't all have the same options, and that at different times of our lives, choices may feel a whole lot more difficult than at others. Sometimes it may feel as if there is no choice, that one is being pushed in a particular direction, being forced down a particular road. And that is often when we have to dig deep and try to look beyond the horizon. Other times we might feel that the choice is simply too hard, and we might try to look to others to assist us. And again, that's also okay. In fact, consulting with colleagues is part and parcel of being a solid healthcare professional. Remember, the more you can inform your choices, the better your choices will be, and each choice, importantly, will contribute another piece to your life's puzzle. So tonight we celebrate some wonderful choices, some of which were tough and required your commitment and your dedication. Some of them might have been less informed than others, but the fact that you are here this evening bears testimony to the fact that one has to take that first step, move forward, and embrace your options, whether big or small. In closing, I would like to share one of my most favorite poems. It is called The Road Not Taken, and really talks about a choice. It was written by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So congratulations to all our awardees this evening, and I wish you happy choices going forward and much success. Thank you. Nkosi. Baie dankie.
Thank you so much for your message, Prof and Schalkwyk. I think we were all very inspired by it, and thank you very much for taking the time to address us tonight. Abdul Aziz, TSR Council member responsible for student facility needs, a division of the Student Services portfolio, will hand over our awards for recognition in the service category tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdul and I'm on the TSR portfolio representing the service awards that will be done tonight. We as the TSR and members of student governance from Tygerberg campus would like to formally acknowledge and recognize you as the individuals for the countless hours of service and commitment that you've done to make this space at Tigerberg a better environment. We've seen everything that you've done in terms of achievements, and we've gone through the submissions and applications process. Based off of that, what we would like to do is we would like to formally congratulate the following individuals who have achieved the Service Award for the TSR.
The TSR Service Awards go to Azhar Adam Nakhtar, Andre Pillay.
Thank you, Abdul, and congratulations to the students who have received awards in the service category. We really appreciate all that you do for the students on our campus. Up next is Tsr Honorary, our TSR Vice-Chairperson, who will give a special mention on leadership.
Hello everyone, my name is Tsr Honorary and I'm the Vice Chairperson of the TSR, and I will be presenting the award for the leadership category. Student leaders are incredibly important and valuable in ensuring a satisfactory, balanced and healthy experience during a student's time at this university. Advocating for students in your various roles is not an easy task at all, and yet it is one you took on with strive and have executed brilliantly. Being a student leader now with COVID brings about many challenges, and challenges that make the task even more difficult. Yet you persevered through it and you've done an incredible job at it. Congratulations to all of those who have been awarded this award, and thank you for your contribution. The winners of the award are:
the TSR Leadership Awards go to Jessica Davis, Azhar Adam Nakhtar, Este Rudolph, Vudi Ravutsi, Lune Smith.
Thank you, Tsiamo. We will now have a performance by our Stellenbosch University choir for some entertainment, so please enjoy.
When you take that jump, you don't fear the fall. Oh, when the water rises, you build a wall. Oh, when the crowd screams and shouts, they scream in your shout. Your name, come down and jump. Everybody
over to Prof. Bob Mash to present the Green Cup Award. Prof. Mash is the executive head of the Department of Family and Emergency Medicine, the head of the Department of Family Medicine and Primary Healthcare, and he is the chairperson of the Dean's Advisory Committee on Environmental Sustainability at the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Over to you, Prof. Mash.
Thank you for the opportunity to present the Green Cup Award for 2021 at the TSR Award ceremony. My name is Professor Bob Mash, and I'm here representing the Dean's Advisory Committee on Environmental Sustainability. So before I go on, just a quick word on this strange committee, the Dean's Advisory Committee on Environmental Sustainability. So we've got three main goals in the faculty. The one, of course, is to promote environmental sustainability on campus. The other is to also promote, connected to that, staff and student well-being, and also to promote environmentally sustainable personal behavior on campus. As a committee, we've got quite a lot of representation from the students, as well as academic staff, as well as support staff. Amongst the students, the DACEs have selected two student coordinators. The one is Tessa Brooks, and the other is Mohini Anant, who will continue, of course, into next year with their coordination. In addition, the TSR also has had an environmental sustainability portfolio, and this year that has been filled by Dashana Mudlia. But then in addition to that, every residence also is represented on the committee, and of course every residence also has a leadership team around environmental sustainability. Amongst the staff, we have a representative from each department in the faculty, and amongst the support staff, we have representation from facility management, as well as media and communication, as well as a number of environmental specialists from the university itself. Of course, the DACES gets its income and the funding of this award from a levy on air travel that is undertaken by any member of the faculty. So coming to the award itself, what are the criteria that we have used to decide on who gets the award this year? We've looked at 5 criteria. The first one is the contribution that the residence has made on campus to environmental sustainability, and related to that is the contribution that they've made online, particularly in this sort of COVID-19 era, to environmental sustainability. In addition, we looked at their contribution to Earth Week, and you can see in this photograph the exhibition that was put up in the entrance to the faculty during Earth Week. We also looked at their contribution to the campaign on single-use plastic, and finally we looked at their contribution to promoting environmental sustainability in the month that residence was responsible for that. So those are the 5 criteria, and then in order to judge this, that each residence had the opportunity to make a presentation to the DACES, and in addition to submit a poster that outlined the activities that they'd undertaken during the previous year. So that's how we went about deciding, and now we can reveal the 2021 winner of the Green Cup Award. So this year, the award goes to the Meerhof residence, and congratulations to them for being the winner of the award. In particular, of course, we also have to acknowledge the leadership from Minika Dempus, who this is a photograph of, and I believe she also had quite a number of personal challenges in her own life this year, and so the fact that she's been so successful in leading environmental sustainability with her team at Meerhof residence is very impressive. You can see here on the right also the poster that was submitted outlining what they've done during the year. The judges particularly commented on the fact that Meerhof was always willing to collaborate and participate in activities throughout the campus and not just things that happened in the residence, and particularly mentioned the eco-bricking initiative that the residents had undertaken. So, congratulations to Meerhof. The award, of course, is 5,000 Rand to that residence, which they can spend on any activities that the residence decides on, although, of course, we do hope and recommend that some of the money might go to support further activities around environmental sustainability. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the event.
We are now nearing the end of our ceremony, but not without giving acknowledgements to the members who have been responsible for the success of this evening. I now ask Dr. Choice Mageta, the Senior Direction of the Division of Student Affairs, to come and deliver the acknowledgements for this evening.
Good evening. Here we are at our second virtual Tigerberg Honours Awards. Although we were rather hoping that this time we'd be able to celebrate together in person, our organising team has worked hard to create a special experience for you to acknowledge and appreciate your extraordinary achievement. What makes this experience special is your presence. So thank you to each and every guest that joined us. And a special thanks goes out to the guests that also participated and gave flesh to our program. To Prof. Deresh Ramjugernath, our Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Learning and Teaching. Dr. Jenny Edge, Senior Lecturer, Specialist Surgeon, and Honorary President of the TSR. To Prof. Susan van Schalkwyk, our Vice Dean for Learning and Teaching, the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Then also to Amore Arends, Hugh Seaton, Abdul-Aziz, Tsr Prof. Bob Mash, and our Chair of the TSR and MC, Kristin Arends. Tolstoy said that music is the shorthand of emotion. What we cannot express fully in words came alive for us in the Stellenbosch University Choir's item. Thank you to them for sharing their amazing talent with us. So I hope that you too have enjoyed this occasion as much as I have. And a special thank you goes out to the planning team. A smooth event requires so much preparation, and our planning team worked wholeheartedly and diligently to attend to each and every detail. The entire TSR worked hard with colleagues Anele Mdepa, Yolanda Mayoli, Musa Mapanza, Juanita Lehman, and Salot Hanekom. Please join me in appreciating and acknowledging their work. We also thank our service partner, DPK Productions, Dirkie van der Merwe and Megan Gannon, for ensuring that everything ran smoothly and that the vision of the team could be realized in an online space. So behind the scenes is a wonderful collaborative teamwork between the TSR, student governance, faculty, student affairs, and the Deputy Registrar's Office. We officially acknowledge not just your hard work and long hours invested in this project, but also your passion, your energy, and commitment for our students. Now, having experienced the event, you understand why it is so meaningful and special. It's an opportunity to celebrate achievement, the fruits of your hard work. We see the achievement, you endured the struggle. You dug deep through very difficult times, and you refused to be discouraged by our challenging context, the demands and the other obstacles that arose in your way. So this event is a tribute to your endurance, to your strength, resilience, and determination. You are truly an inspiration to us all. I'm sure as you reflect on your journey, you'll be the first to acknowledge that success is not a solo endeavor. So we also take this opportunity to pay tribute to those that played a part in your journey, who helped you through. It's time to pause and acknowledge their contribution. To the faculty, to the Registrar's Office, to Student Affairs, and to our leader, Dr. Choice Maheta, to the library, to the facility staff, our class members, friends, and family. This is a moment that is shared with them. For every sacrifice that they made, for everything that they offered, for the smile that said, "You are not alone," for every dream that has been realized through you, for the pride and hope you represent, for the shoulders you stand on. We are humbled and appreciative. Now, as we draw to the end of this event, I will greet you with a full, hopeful, and grateful heart. Have a good evening and stay safe until we meet again.